This is just not straight at all. There we go. It's a little better. All right. And post. All right. There we go. It's a little better. All right. Here we are gonna pin that to the profile. Yep. And here we are. All right, great. We are live. Gonna wait for people to get in. Don't wanna start without the necessary people, of course. Okay, let's see. Where are we? In world, we are far from great, right? Well, things are happening. Things are moving in a direction of uncertainty. That's what we're gonna say, and that doesn't usually go so great. Now, we're gonna take a look at some things here. We're going to start out with watching something I uploaded here. This man right here is called Dylan. He's Dylan Page on Twitter. He's pretty good, actually. And it explains pretty thoroughly what's happening here in Texas. So let's watch it.
It is so important that everyone knows what is happening in Texas right now, because this is literally how civil wars begin. Yesterday, the governor of Texas released a statement in which he said that as of January the 24th, he has officially declared an invasion of the southern border by illegal immigrants and has now invoked an act that will mobilize the Texas National Guard, which is the state's own military forces, in order to protect and defend itself, which put simply is a massive stance against the US federal government and Joe Biden. And don't forget that Texas was once an independent state, and there were still a lot of people.
1863. Sorry. 1836. Yes, 1836. March the 8th, I believe, or 3rd, or something like that. It was in March 1836. The Texans became independent. A former state of, or former member of Mexico had a war with them, became independent, and then joined the U.S. later. But this right here is true.
People who want them to become their own country again. Now, if you didn't know, the southern border has been an...
Some people, yeah, there has been talks and votes about Texas becoming a country again. Now, it is a very strongly independent country. And also, it has a lot of money. I mean, it has a huge GDP, which is another thing. Texas is huge when it comes to market price. I mean, it has more money than Russia has, which is which is pretty insane to think about, but it's true.
Escalating point of contention of the last 3 years. But this whole situation blew up last week when Texas authorities placed razor wire over a part of the border that had seen a high number of illegal crossings. But then when the federal border force troops arrived, the Texas National Guard blocked them from entering the area and accused them of trying to destroy their fortifications. The Biden administration then took this matter to the Supreme Court, which ruled that the US Border Patrol agents were allowed to clear out the razor wire. And that's where you think things would end, right? Absolutely not. That statement, which I showed you earlier, was then issued by Texas, saying that Biden had failed to uphold his constitutional duties, which require the US government to protect its states. And that also because of his lawless border policies, a massive 6 million illegal migrants have crossed the southern border in just 3 years, which is more than the population of 33 different states in America.
For 6 million in 3 years. Now, I'm not someone who actively goes against migration, but I am not with it. I don't think it's fair for people to have to live in a country that's not theirs. Not because I think of the situation that they're in. I understand that they are in a. I could never understand it, but I understand that they're in a situation they can't change. They're desperate, and I understand that 100%. Yet, you also have to think about the well-being of others. I mean, Texas have seen a decline. These people, they can't get jobs, and they're spreading into the U.S. and they can't get jobs. Life is not going to get better for them in the U.S. Now, God knows, I'm not a religious man, but I'm going to say it like this, that I would wish for them to be in their own countries, of course, because that's where they were born. It's a wish for them to be able to live in their countries in a good manners, of course. If they can't, that's a different issue, of course. But maybe we should put pressure on the countries that are having these problems to fix their problems instead of actively taking in 6 million. Because 6 million is a lot of people to take in, especially when the job rates, the jobs that you're giving, aren't suitable in the United States, sort of government or money or system simply can't handle. And they end up being on the streets. And you say to me that's a better life? I don't think so. A lot of these people do end up becoming very hardworking people. Big respect to that. But, listen, sometimes people just got to take up what they think they're theirs. And we can't always defend it. We can't always say it's right. But sometimes you just got to do the things that aren't right in everybody's mind. And that's what's happening here. Can't say it's right, but at the end of the day, you can't have 6 million people go through in 3 years. It's just not viable, okay? I understand, okay? And I'm not here to shade on any migrants. I know it's not your choice. It's not your literal choice, but, there you have it. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but yeah.
Then, after the statement was released, the Texas National Guard were seen laying out even more razor wire against the government and Supreme Court's orders. And as I recorded this video, there is literally an unprecedented physical standoff between a federal and state's government. And some Democrats are even calling on Biden to seize control of the Texas National Guard, which is why I say...
Okay, I accidentally cut that off, but no, it should be... that's pretty much what it was. But here you have it. He was gonna say that's why we're heading for civil war. That's what he was gonna say. You have a different iteration of it here. We have a little bit more from it. This is the second part. I want to upload it today to keep you updated. Dylan Page on TikTok, very big TikTok creator, but he has a great news channel. He does all this stuff right here, and I thought he did a great update on it. So I thought I'd give you this, guys. It's short, it's sweet, so it's good. Dylan Page on TikTok. Just don't want to get any things done here. This guy's great. Just go watch him if you want to keep up with the news and everything. Phil DeFranco, also a good guy.
The standoff between Texas and the U.S. government is only getting more intense because now the governors of 25 Republican states.
By the way, this map right here is something we're going to take a look at. There's been a huge number of people actually coming out in support of this. And also, just want to point out here, guys, this is the members that are in support of what Texas are doing, including Alaska, by the way.
States have released a joint statement supporting Texas's decision to ignore the federal government and take matters into their own.
Listen to that. Texas are ignoring the federal government. Now, if we're not looking down the spiral of civil war here. By the way, yeah, if you're asking me what Donald Trump's stance on this, he's actually a big supporter, a measure of this. Donald Trump is very supportive of this. Of course he is. I mean, it's Donald Trump, right? But yeah, I mean, here you have it, right?
Hands to protect their borders. Donald Trump then commented on the situation, urging other states that support Texas to deploy their guards to the state.
And they actually did that. There were deployment of guards.
And start removing those individuals who entered illegally. Now, as of yet, there hasn't been an official response by the Biden administration, which is expected. Because how they react to this needs to be carefully thought out,
or
things could go very wrong very quick. However, there are currently several Democrats that are urging the president to take a tougher stance against Texas. Things are developing.
But the thing is, listen, guys. The thing is, if he...
very quickly, so of course, I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, the thing is here, if you take, you know, and I'm going to keep sure if he uploads again, I'll make sure. But the thing is, if you take your guard against the National Guard of Texas and orders the National Guards, which has an obligation to listen to the United States president, but if the National Guard, who is actually in supportive of this measure, doesn't listen to Biden, then Biden has to use measures, you know, force to do it. Yeah. So what I'm looking at here is if the National Guard and the United States, you know, sort of the Texas National Guard and the people who are sending their National Guards to Texas can't figure out a sort of agreement on this issue here, we're gonna head down at the spiral, and hopefully it's gonna be a diplomatic issue, and we're not gonna head into a civil war, well, of any kind, right? But it certainly doesn't seem too. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say we're heading into we're heading into a civil war here, guys. No. Listen. Okay, we're gonna see what happens here. There's other stuff happening in the United States. I want to give you something else because I found this today as well. On top of these bad news, another Dylan Page video here. Just want to push this out here. But apparently, this is also happening in the United States. Watch this.
Something is about to happen in America that hasn't happened in 221 years. Experts are now predicting that billions of insects will burst from out of the ground and cover roads, trees, and sidewalks in an event that hasn't happened since 1803. Guess we'll find that. Now, the insects in question are cicadas, which have red eyes, are pretty large, and are known for their unique screaming sound. Now, granted, cicadas appear every year, but this year's bloody biblical level awakening will not see just one, but two broods coming up at the same time. And why it's so rare is that one of
these guys will be coming up from the ground all across the U.S. This has not happened for 200 years. 200 years. And last time it happened, 1803. He said it right there. 200 years this hasn't happened. What the fuck?
One of them comes up every 13 years, and the other every 17. So for them to link up and tag team the US at the same time, it sounds like frickin' Moses is in town. These are gonna be the states worst affected, so get your flame...
okay, not all across the US, but half of it.
...throwers ready. And they're predicted to emerge in May and June. So the question is...
all the big population centers.
Billions of cicadas, or double it and give it to Canada.
Checking in. Welcome. Well, get them here all the time. Yeah, well, you know, this one is in the bigger level. This one is in the billions, by the way. This one's in the billions, guys. It's not in a million. This is in the billions, okay? Now, Kansas doesn't appear to be affected so much. So that's good, right? But yeah, in the billions. Just want to say that, guys. In the billions is what we're getting here, which is wow. But yeah, they're nasty. They make sounds. If you missed what I was saying, 86 and which you could go, and everybody who's just joining here, if you missed what I watched, I have just watched the current situation happening here in Texas just a few minutes ago here. If you go back just about 10 minutes or, I don't know, 5 minutes or something like that, you can watch the two videos. We just watched Dylan Page. He's got 2 TikTok videos on it. Or you can head on over to the Twitter, which is in the description. My Twitter is in the description. Go to my Twitter and you can go watch the 2 videos again if you want to. If you missed anything, otherwise we're going to move on here. There are some other things here as well. Donald Trump, surprise, surprise, put out a tweet. Well, here you have it. Absolutely ridiculous. I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing this whole Biden direct witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. Well, the legal system is out of control and we're being used as a political weapon. They have taken all away First Amendment rights. This is not America. This is Donald Trump, by the way, and Donald Trump's profile picture. That's interesting. But yeah. So, by the way, this was Donald Trump's response to the jury's decision in E. Jean Carroll case. Oh, yeah. So okay, so this was not the response. My bad. I meant to say this was his response to the E. Gerald case, or E. Jane Carroll case. And because the reason why he was saying all this, guys, is because, well, the man is ruled, jury says Donald Trump must pay E. Jane Carroll $83.3 million in verdict. Take that, Donald Trump. 83.3 million. Well, yeah. Anyways, guys. Oh, yeah. Are you guys trying to say something? I forgot to put. Have you heard the hot mic of plan regarding the Texas border? Which are you? Can't confirm, but wow. The hot mic. Oh yeah, listen, guys. Joe Biden has gone for the nuclear option. Joe Biden has gone for the nuclear option. Now I had it somewhere, but Jesus Christ, I had it somewhere, and then it's just gone. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, by the way, another thing, just gonna read that in a second. It was Zelensky's birthday yesterday. Believe so? Yeah. Happy birthday. But anyways, 25 states support Texas, which refused to obey Washington on the issue of protecting the border with Mexico, which is, for you guys who don't know where Mexico is, I know that you might know where it is, but I'm just going to point it out. We're all family friendly here. Down here underneath Texas, that's Mexico down here. Just want to point that out to everybody who, family friendly. But hot mic, I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched the hot mic of Biden. No. If you guys got a link to it or something like that, oh, you can't do that. And Witchy, if you're a mod, Witchy, if you got a link for it, you can do that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll watch it. So yeah, in a joint statement from the Republican governors of 25 states, guys, 25 states, okay, against the Texan National Guard if it does not withdraw from the border. Oh no, sorry. Oh my God, I read so far. It said that Biden does not want to protect the border and fight illegal immigration. The Biden administration is threatening military action. Nuclear option, guys. Nuclear option here. I had it right here. Okay, I'm so confused right now because I'm trying to read it all through. I'm just like, what the fuck? So here you have it. National Guard. The Biden administration is threatening to take military action. If you want to read it again here, military action. Fucking civil war here, guys. Against the Texas National Guard. So this National Guard, who is, by the way, supported by this state, that state, that state, you get it. 25 fucking other states in doing what they're doing. If it does not withdraw from the border. So Joe Biden is telling the National Guard to withdraw from the border of Mexico to let the migrants in, is my understanding of the Biden's administration. Threatening and doing is two different things, but he is threatening the nuclear option. By the way, when I say the nuclear option, no, I don't mean a nuclear bomb. Okay? When I say the nuclear option, no, I don't mean that Joe Biden's going to drop a nuke on Texas. No. I mean, the nuclear option is because it's so massive. When you talk about nuclear options in politics or things like this, it's because it has a massive impact on a situation. That's what a nuclear option is. A nuclear option is hot. It can have massive consequences. And what National Guard or people who will listen to Joe Biden is mind-boggling, because every other state appears to be in support of what Texas is doing. So if Joe Biden is telling Oklahoma or Arizona or whatever that is that Long Island? No, what's that? Is that Alabama? Yeah, right? Alabama? Or is that over there? I don't know. To tell them to, hey, go in. And they're not going to do it? That's a difficult thing. And now this time, this civil war, if it was to go into the civil war, I'm not going to say that it's gonna. Okay, guys, listen. I'm going to sit here and say that this is going to head into a civil war. But it can have massive consequences. Because many of who are voting right now, who are saying this, oh, Louisiana is the foot. Right. Louisiana. And that's Alabama. So that right there is AL, Alabama. And that's Michigan. MS. Right? Or is that Michigan? MS, what's that? Mississippi? No, Mississippi? No. Yes, Mississippi? No. God damn it, I don't know. Right, Louisiana. Um, Freddie, welcome in. News pause in a couple of hours doing a Lego build. Well, fair enough, Freddie. Well, this is up, Freddie. The United States heading into a civil war. That's what's up. No, listen, guys. But the problem is, all of these states are Republican. Obviously, many of them are Republican, or at least have a very Republican view, or in support of this. In a very, they might be democracy. They might be, support of democracy. Sorry, the Democratic Party, but they are certainly Republican in my eyes at this moment. I don't know, but as far as I understand, many of these are Republican. I think so. I don't know. Maybe some of them. Most of them are. Yeah, it's in Mississippi. That's right. 86. It was Mississippi. Yes. And I mean the problem is here that the United States could it face a government shutdown. Well, that's a problem because right now we have 25 states, including Texas, that makes 26 states, that are not in agreement with anything that the United States government is saying. So the Biden administration is saying to Texas to do something. Texas is not doing that. That means they're literally going against Texas. They're literally going against the federal government, which is meaning that many of the things that Joe Biden will say or try is in many ways going to be ignored. That's a problem because these people they have seats. They're governors. They're in the federal government. If the federal government can't have control of their states, they're not really a state. They're not really a country, are they? So the problem here is wearing a Czechs hat, Louisiana, and looks like a right. Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, so I mean that's the problem here, guys, right? You get what I'm saying here that if state is not listening to the federal government, then we have a problem because that means that there's a state literally going against the federal government. Now there's not going to be a lot of cooperation between those countries, are there? Government shutdown, don't know if that's going to happen. That's one of the likely things. I mean, this is very serious actually, and I just want to point this out, guys. It's very serious. Another thing is, they could of course avoid this if Joe Biden was to consider a stronger migration policy. They could have, of course, solved this. So that's one way to solve it. If Joe Biden was to be pressured into a stronger migration policy. But if Joe Biden seems to be so hell-bent on letting everyone through, well, then we're not going to have much wiggle room, are we? So it's a problem. And also, one other thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we're heading for a civil war. I think diplomatic reasons are there before we're heading to a civil war. But the United States has never been more crossed or more against each other since the Civil War, have they? I mean, there have been times throughout history. There was a time in 1960s when I don't know if it was Alabama, but it was some southern state that had a governor that didn't want to allow to integrate the integrate colored or black people. Back in the 60s, obviously that was still something people were against. Now the current president, John F. Kennedy, set governor that he was going to mobilize, or he did actually mobilize the National Guard to force said governor into integrating the schools. And that's actually something that happened there. Many of the other southern states seeing that was pressured into it as well, but they were also very much in support. I mean, there has been throughout the times where the United States government has been crossed with each other. And this is one of the times. Another time is probably all the way back to the Civil War, but this is one of the time where you are looking at a United States that has never been much more. I mean, this is one of the times of many, but this is many of the times where it's been most crossed, most divided in sections. You could fix it, have a stronger migration policy. Man, there you go. Well, 100% Donald Trump is going to ride on it. He's in full support of this, and 100% he's going to ride on it and try and get as much voters and people and he can get on his side from this. So that's one thing there. Yeah. But we'll get back on it. If anything happens, we'll be on watch. In further American news, Pentagon reports at America at risk, unprepared for alien invasion. So that's also that. So, yeah. America warns us unprepared for alien invasion. Yeah, that's the Pentagon. The actual Pentagon has warned that the United States are not prepared for an alien invasion. One thing that's a little dumb about this is because how do you know what weapons the aliens have? How can you prepare for an alien invasion when you have no idea what weapons they have? Okay, we're gonna move on. Anyways, here you have it. We got some Middle Eastern news here. Let's read it out here. So, Reuters reports that Chinese officials have asked Iran to rein in attacks on ship in the Red Sea by the Houthis, or risk the harming of business relations with Beijing. So, will we see less attacks from Iran? Yes, possibly. You know why? Because when China comes knocking, and it's about business, and you're in an authoritarian country, and China comes knocking and says, "Stop it, or we won't do things with you," that's a big blow to Iran. Will we see less attacks? Maybe. It's a good thing, though, somewhat. Iran's government should compromise. Now that is funny. Yeah, yeah. Should the United States government compromise on an immigration law? No, that's something that hasn't happened in about fucking 100 years. Yeah. That's true. Furthermore, lying on these news here, a British oil tanker is on fire after getting hit by a missile strikes off Yemen, possibly by the Houthis. I say possibly. We all know it's from the Houthis. So it came before or after this, but very likely the factor that the British oil tanker now has been caught on fire after being hit by a fucking missile from the Houthis. So there you have it. That's another thing there again. So, happy New Year's. Israel estimates that Hamas arsenals reduced to just hundreds of rockets. Out of 20,000, some 9,000 were fired into Israel. Many others exploded inside Gaza. IDF destroyed thousands of rockets, demolition launch pits, and production sites. Yeah, so Hamas is beat at this point. They very much are. Still fighting, but very beat. You know. You're really showing those Houthis, which you really are. I mean, those Houthis have definitely caved in by now, haven't they? They've stopped now. God damn, those missiles attack did a lot. 2 Navy SEALs died because of it. You know? So, and they're still attacking. So we got 2 Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs, by the way. That's your elite of elite. Died. They drowned, I think. Don't know. But as far as I understand, they passed away of some accident. Trying to, I think, take back an oil tanker or a tanker or ship. May they rest in peace. But yeah. Redungerous. Oh no, my shit. Oh no, my shit. What's up? What's is that like an American saying, or is your shit actually, is something happening to your shit? Yeah. Is that like an American saying? Because I might not get it. Oh my shit. Is that like? It might be. I think it's American saying because I'm not getting it. Russia. We're moving on to some Ukrainian Russian news here, so get back to the United States news later if we're gonna get back to it. Russia attacked Kyiv with ballistic missiles from the DPRK. Well, in Yemen. Oh, right, in Yemen, right. Like, oh no, my shit. No, right. Now I get it. Right, sorry. I wasn't unaware of what you were saying there. Thank you. Um, reports Defense Express. During one of the recent missiles attacks on the capital, North Korean ballistic missiles were fired. They show a large fuselage fragment with marking characteristics of Russian missiles. That right there is a North Korean missile fragment. If you're buying and shooting off North Korean ballistic missiles because you don't have enough of your own, can you please tell me that North Korea is still winning? Because the Slovakian Prime Minister quickly, sorry, not North Korea, Russia, because the Slovakian Prime Minister quickly realized, oh shit, they're not winning anymore. I better go to the right side. They actually went to Ukraine and actually said they might end up supporting Ukraine anyways. Then now the Hungarian Prime Minister or Minister Leader or whatever his name is, Viktor Orban, has the EU Council are deciding whether or not to actually give. Sorry, what was I saying? To remove the veto power of Hungary from the EU, so they're not allowed to veto blocking Ukrainian supplies. So Hungary, a EU member of a long-standing EU member with Viktor Orban, has been banned from vetoing anything because the EU is planning on removing, or is discussing the possibility of removing that, which is pretty good. Western should shut down the shit show in North Korea done. But we won't call it a humanitarian mission. They're starving to death anyway. Right. And that's actually, I heard a funny joke once, the biggest problem for the United States if they were to go to war with North Korea, their biggest problem for the United States would be where to get all the warm food for all the North Korean soldiers surrendering to get some food. That's the biggest problem for the United States. Not the people itself, but all the North Korean soldiers surrendering for a hot meal. Where are they going to put them all? How are they going to get all the food? That's going to be the problem. There you have it. That's a great joke. There you have it. Anyways, guys, we're going to watch some Zelensky here. It's actually it's a 4 minute and 22 seconds, so it's not that long. But here you have it, guys. This is Zelensky, still well and strong. He is older now, but he's still fresh. So here you have it. Watch.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці і українки. Провів сьогодні ставку. Головне – це фронтова ситуація. Доповіді детальні, кожний напрямок, загалом наші оборонні операції та активні дії. Кожен в Україні знає, де зараз найбільш інтенсивно. Авдіївка, Мар'їнка, Куп'янський напрямок, південні напрямки. До кожного максимально увага. Проаналізували також на ставці усі питання щодо снарядів, заповнення, дефіцитів, постачання у війська, домовленостей з партнерами і власного виробництва. Дуже важливо, українське виробництво зброї, снарядів демонструє позитивну динаміку. Я вдячний усім, хто залучений, кожному і кожній, хто працює заради наших власних можливостей в Україні. Окремо сьогодні обговорили захист нашої держави від російського повітряного терору і прикордонних міст, і наших фронтових позицій. Ми працюємо, щоб збільшити кількість систем ППО, відповідних боєприпасів для захисту від російських авіанальотів та ракетних ударів, у контролі у небі, багато в чому відповідь щодо контролю на землі. Друге, за цей день провів нараду щодо нашої роботи з партнерами в Євросоюзі та відносини з державами-сусідами. Раціональність у відносинах – це пріоритет. І готуємо наші відповідні кроки. Третє. Нарада щодо фінансової ситуації, роботи податкової і податкових надходжень, звіт за минулий рік. Пріоритети у цьому році. Головне для держави, усього нашого суспільства, щоб у кожного з українських підприємців були можливості для більш активної економічної роботи. А отже, і для того, щоб українські бюджети могли більше орієнтуватися на сили своєї економіки. Держава Державні інституції, кожен з посадовців зобов'язані робити все можливе, щоб сприяти легальному білому бізнесу. Я вдячний усім нашим підприємцям, кожному і кожній в Україні, хто залишається в державі, зберігає свої підприємства і робочі місця. Достойні робочі місця в Україні, робота кожного підприємства, яке залишається в легальному полі – це одна з ключових основ української сили. Власне, сьогодні ми даємо старт заснуванню нового механізму комунікації з підприємцями і не лише з тими, хто найбільш помітний, засновуємо всеукраїнську економічну платформу, на якій буде представлений і малий бізнес, і середній, і великий, і різні регіони нашої держави, і інвестори, і релоковані підприємства. Зроблено в Україні. І це не просто бренд, це велика спільнота людей, мільйони українців і українок, які працюють на підприємствах. І це наші люди, які засновують підприємства, які створюють робочі місця для інших. Вся спільнота нашого бізнесу буде представлена на новій платформі. Уряд разом з Офісом, обласними державними адміністраціями, експертами має організувати роботу платформи. Головне завдання, щоб це був інструмент дієвої комунікації, щоб спілкування завжди підтримувалось операційними рішеннями, тим, що державні інституції роблять або змінюють, і тим, що створюють нову, нормальну історію відносин, зокрема, між правоохоронцями та підприємцями. Потребуємо більшу впевненість для бізнесу і більшу легальну білу економіку для України. Потребуємо більше українських виробництв, більше українського продукту різних галузей. І щойно підписав укази, які дозволять створити саме такий комунікаційний механізм – Раду з питань підприємництва, як це і визначено, зокрема, нещодавнім рішенням РНБО і всеукраїнської платформи для активізації підприємництва і нашого українського продукту. Я дякую усім, хто б'ється і працює заради України, усіх наших людей, нашого суспільства, в усьому його різноманітті. Я дякую кожному і кожній, хто розуміє, що лише постійне посилення України наближає завершення цієї війни, справедливе завершення нашою українською перемогою. Слава нашому народу! Слава Україні!
Slava Ukraina. There you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Kubala says there is no delays in delivery of first F-16 from Denmark to Ukraine. Preparations of transferring F-16 jets from Denmark to Ukraine are proceeding as planned, Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said on January 26th in a meeting with, what's his name? Lars Lucas. No, what's his name? Lars Lucas. Lars Lucas. Lars Lucas, sorry, that was Danish. is a Danish politician. He's our foreign minister, and he is actually a former prime minister or foreign state minister. He was in Ukraine, or I don't know if he was in Ukraine, but he made a deal. F-16s are coming as planned. Thank you so much to Lars Ferguson. Thank you. Okay. So, a little bit of a surprising news here, but I will share it. Ukraine-Japanese model Caroline Shino has been crowned Miss Japan. Born in Ukraine, she moved to Japan with her mother and Japanese stepfather at the age of 5. She's the first neutralized Japanese citizens to win the Pageant. Now, she's very pretty, very, very beautiful. No, I don't have a problem with this. I was gonna say, like, you know, is it like I don't know. No, she's very stunning. I mean, she is, you know. So great. You know what? Good for her. I want to include you a picture here. You might not always understand just how. Oh, okay. According to the U.S. defense officials, the crew aboard the Marshall Island flag chemical tanker MT Marlin Luenda had been forced to abandon ship due to large fire caused by the Houthis' anti-ship ballistic missile attack earlier tonight. Now being out of control, the crew has reportedly been moved to lifeboats, which are currently being picked up by INS Vishakhapatnam, a Vishakhapatnam class destroyer of the Indian Navy, which is currently on scene to provide assistance. India on the scene here. We have a lot of pictures coming in here. Thank you very much. Another image. Okay. I'll get to that in a second here. If you guys ever understood just how massive the Russian kamikaze drones are, a Russian shitty kamikaze drone would down by using electronic warfare systems. By the way, Ukraine has started using electronic warfare systems. These systems simply jams the signal of the GPS inside, or the people, operating the drone, jams the signal, and the drone simply crashes into the ground without exploding. So yeah, Ukraine's recently started using electronic warfare to stop missiles from reaching their target. Good for Ukraine. Here you have it. The very interesting part about this, some people may take a look at these drones and they sometimes question, and they say to me, well, how can these drones do so much damage? Well, I'll tell you why. Look at the size of it. Sorry. Look at the size of it compared to the people. That thing right there is 4 people long. If they were to lie, on their backs, facing, well, if they were facing, what was that? How do you say? You get what I'm saying. If they're facing that way, right? Easily, these guys, 4 guys could fit on it, So, but I take a risk. Fair enough. Go NATO should be in damn Ukraine. Damn NATO. Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, and by the way, it's quite a sensible law that you can't have people who are in a war in NATO. It's quite a sensible one, but, for now. But he will be. Don't worry. Yeah, but take a look at that, That is quite insane. That is quite, these drones, the reason why they do so much damage, I mean, this thing right here is the damage, That's the size of a person, pretty much. So they're huge, and it's hard to see when you're looking, from the ground, just how huge these are, but they're huge. Just want to bring that to you. Well, yeah, but listen, we can't do anything about that, and we're just gonna have to be like it, In a twisting turn of events, and I've been saying this for a while, how long do you think the Russian support for Putin is going to continue when they're freezing to death in their apartments? It's a shame to live in this country. Gurgen supports to come to building of Moscow city court and punched on the authorities with accusations. They say that taking real patriots out of the way is the act of cowards. There you have it. This man right here. I don't know what this guy is, but he's certainly something. But he appears to be Russian. Listen to what he says.
Стыдно жить в этой стране, когда такое происходит. Говорят, знаете, им стыдно, что я русский. Нет, не
It's ashamed to be Russian.
стыдно, что я русский.
But I'm ashamed to live with the government. There you have it. That's a good sentence. They say I'm ashamed to be Russian. No, I am not ashamed to be Russian, but I am ashamed to live in a government. And today is a shameful
Но с
day.
этой властью жить стыдно.
There you have
И вот и
it.
сейчас это день, позорный день.
It comes directly from an older guy as well. You think sort of older Russians would have more of a belief in Russia, but this guy's been in the Soviet Union. I mean, this guy lived in the Soviet Union, so,
И это праздник сейчас на Украине. Мы идем подарок за подарком делаем.
People are jailed. What's your name?
Как вас зовут? Юрий Юрченко.
Вы в поддержку сегодня пришли?
Конечно.
Игоря.
Тартюфу орден мужества, а Дон Кихот в Лефортове. кроме, вы знаете, кроме нецензурных слов, ничего нет на это.
Мне только что могу показать, товарищ, они в конце.
Это власть расписывается в своем бессилии, в страхе. Если у вас 78% или сколько там,
my mind
даже,
is
чего же вы
authoritarian.
боитесь все еще?
Oh, on my mind, it's authoritarian speaking their powerlessness, their fear. If you have 78% of whatever it is, what are you afraid of? Now, I can't confirm if she's saying this, but why? There's so many people watching this, so, I mean, if there was somebody to say maybe this wasn't true, somebody would have commented, but, I mean, there's not a lot of people commented on it at all, but this guy believe, I don't know if he is Ukrainian or not, but, you know.
Причем человека, который никогда ни слова не сказал против президента, что наоборот, всегда говорил, что нельзя, тем более во время смутного времени, нельзя президенту, но командующий должен оставаться. Это, знаете, как в 2014 году ведь сказал наш президент, там много наговорил слов, что мы их там своих не бросаем. Да? А ведь поверили тогда ему в Крыму, он предал самых преданных ему. Вот Стрелков один из самых преданных.
There you have it. That's a Russian, directly from a Russian, telling him he's ashamed to be a Russian. Not ashamed to be Russian, but ashamed of the government. Well said, sir. Well said. On to some European news. If you don't know what's going on in France right now, well, French people are being French. It's particularly the French farmers are being French farmers, like they always have. Quite strange. No, but they're protesting. The governments of the EU appears to be currently conducting some kind of cutting in wages of the so-called farmers. Therefore, the farmers is filling the streets of France with even more shit than was already there. There's a lot of shit in the French streets. We already know that, but now there's more and in bigger quantities. It must smell like fucking shit. It must smell like the most. That's the stuff they used to put on you know, they used to put on the farms. This is what I mean. I think so. You know, pretty sure this is the stuff they used to put on the farms to help growth in the soil, all that stuff. So this is smells bad. Yes, yes, mamma mia, bonjour, yes, yes. Let's bring this big hay of shit into McDonald's. McDonald's is shit already. We will bring big hay of shit. Yes, spread it. Yes, fuck the government. Yes. Oh my god. Oh yes. Fuck the government. Let's spray shit. Let's spray cow shit on the government building. Yes. Oh. Creepy already. That's just straight up shit. I mean, that's the government building. That's the government building. This is straight up just cow shit. I mean, there's no other way to put it, guys. This is just straight up cow shit. That's no other way to put it. It's nothing else. Listen, this is YouTube. This is not. That's not other way to put it, guys. This is YouTube. This is shit. This is just straight up shit. Oh my. Oh, I'm actually getting sick. Oh. Oh my god, I'm actually getting sick. These are the tractors. Now, French are very known for their extreme protesting. The last time the government tried to add cameras on the streets in France, they tried to add cameras. The French people weren't so happy about it. And sometimes, you know, they go out, they destroy one or two. In different countries, they might go out and destroy one or two or vandalize one or two to try and show the government they don't want it. No, what the French people did was they destroyed every single one of them. No, they didn't leave one. No, every single speeding camera on the highway got destroyed by the French people. And the police didn't give a shit. That's French for you. That's France for you. Oh my god. That's all of us tractors. Hundreds of thousands. Et le flot sans effort nous pousse enchaîner l'un et l'autre et nous laisse tous deux. Oh my god. Diff fan BH VNT or whatever. That's from TikTok as well. Because I found it and I thought it was pretty good. Like, go watch that if you want. I've got further as well. It's got some other pictures as well for you. This right here is the scenes we saw earlier, but this is an extended scene. So this is the government building. So here you have it. This right here is protesting French farmers repainted the city hall and building in Agen today. It's a little repaints. Yes, you hired us to repaint the wall. Yes, you want shit or you want shit? Do you want shit color or do you want shit color? Maybe we can also give you some pastel shit if you want. Maybe we can give you some egg white shit if you want. Oh my god, it's sick. That's just straight up cow. Oh, that's so disgusting. It's just straight up cow shit. It's nothing else that it is. It's cow shit. It's just disgusting. Oh my god. It's just the French for you. They do this every single year. They go out, they protest, and they do this. This is what they do. Oh, it's just go somewhere else, dude. Like, you're already doing it. Go somewhere else. You've already painted that. You gotta spread it out, man. Spread it out a bit. Oh, there you go. Yeah, a little bit on the other side. Yeah, there you go. Poopy paint, yeah. It's not gonna take a bit of a... You know who I take pity on? The cleaning lady and the cleaning people having to clean this shit up. I mean, literally, the shit. I mean, look at it. And that's, you know, most people in most other countries, they go, oh, you're taking money away from us. Okay, we'll protest with some signs. We'll tell you it's wrong. We'll go on until the government says, you know what? Okay, why did we think about this? Let's not do this. Let's make it better. Okay, fine. Now, the French, when you disrespect the French in any profession, in anywhere, they will go over the top with what they do, and they're protesting. So don't fucking, when you know, just like, I would quit. Yeah, no, the French doesn't quit. No, you would, if you were the queening person, you'd quit. Yeah, I'd quit too. He's just driving forward. He doesn't give a shit where he's going. He's, you know. Oh, lovely. I think the last time we saw this was in 1793. There was a revolution or something like that, and you know, you know, when Napoleon came around and sprayed shit on the streets. No, he didn't do that, but you know, you get it. That's great. In darker news, Putin would not hesitate to attack NATO. German intelligence chief, if Ukraine were forced to surrender, which is, here we have it, it would not quench Russia's thirst for power, said the head of German Federal Intelligence Service, Bruno Kahl. Here he is. Now, he's not wrong. Listen, if Ukraine were to surrender, then yes, Russia would cease and try. I'm hearing some air raids going off in the background right now. It's very faint. I don't think you can hear it, but it's back there. Yeah. But yeah, he's not wrong. And that's why we need Ukraine to win, so Russia doesn't try and attack other countries. A large-scale Russian disinformation campaign was exposed in Germany. The German Minister of Foreign Affairs launched a large-scale Russian disinformation campaign on Twitter. The goal is to increase public dissatisfaction with the current coalition government of Germany and the undermined support for Ukraine. Experts found that in 1 month, more than 50,000 fake accounts were published, a total of more than 1 million posts in German, often accusing the federal government. They talked about the fact that the authorities are allegedly neglecting their own population in order to help Ukraine, Spiegel reports. So the German Foreign Minister of Affairs launched a large-scale Russian disinformation campaign. There you have it. Germany for you. Going down a rabbit hole they've gone down before. We don't know, you know. The Telegram reports that the U.S. is planning to stage. There you have it, guys. That's one thing I want to read to you today. The U.S. is planning not only to go to war, but with itself, but it's also planning to station nuclear weapons in the UK to counter threat from Russia. Russia has recently pimped up its nuclear threat. Now we all know that it's just some bullshit. Bullscheisse. Another one of those red lines or one of those escalation points that Putin keeps talking about. But yes, there will be stations of nuclear bombs in a situation of an area that hasn't been situated in 15 years. There hasn't been nuclear bombs stationed there, but now there will be in a counter threat to Russia. Russia is just not doing too great right now. The EU, here we have it, is considering stripping Hungary of voting rights if it blocks Ukrainian aid. There you have it. That's one thing I was wanting to talk about here again. Very, very nice. Nuclear option? No, but, you know, either you join us in supporting Ukraine or you don't. It's a very simple option, Victor. Very simple. A church named after Prigozhin was opened today in the capital of the African Republic, by the way. United States of Texas with the untouched states of America. Yeah. That's this right here is in Africa. There has been a village open or church open that has been named Prigozhin, with lots of pictures on the PZ Wagner group with Prigozhin in the background holding up the peace sign. And this man was sorry. It's it's news. Why? 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 What the fuck? Why? Why the fuck did he do that? What the fuck was the... Why? What the fuck was the point of that? I like how they came with microphones to take him. They forgot his wig. Yeah, they did. I love how they came with microphones to try and like have a conversation with this man. To try and like ask him questions like, why did you do this? I don't know. I wanted media cover. I need money. Like, isn't that what his main point is? I mean, I'm just baffled with the ingenuity of people nowadays. It's just amazing. It's just oh, great. I love it.
Texas is failing to comply with...
Oh, here we have it. The worst head of press, or whatever her name is, speaker in U.S. history. No, not because she's black. And I've said this multiple times. No, not because she's black. Because she doesn't know how to do her job. I personally liked Obama very lot. So, but here you have it. This is, and I like Michelle a lot as well. I'd have Michelle do this instead of her, very much. And in fact, anybody, no matter the color, just anybody else, because she just doesn't know how to do it. She's wrong. I don't know. I just don't like her. Okay, nothing to do with race. Just want to point that out. People seem to think it is. I know it's not.
Back to the border.
Just don't like her.
Does the administration think...
Anyways, she's going to talk a little bit about this border control here. Don't know why I went into that. That was weird going into, but here you have it, guys. Yeah, it's big serious news. It was big serious news, would you? It was. It's the only thing that's going on in Africa. Listen, you know, the African news sources, they have about 2 things a day. First, there's a rhino that gets shot in the streets, and then the second, then there's something like this. You know, some stupid thing happens. You know, they got to cover it. That's what they got to do in Africa. They don't have enough. They just talk about animals. That's a big part of it. You know, if you seriously, I'm serious. You go watch African news. It's pretty much just about new animals they found, or animals or animal protection programs and stuff like that, which is good stuff. But you know, I'm serious.
Texas is failing to comply with court orders around the placement and removal of razor wire.
Well, look, I mean, the Supreme Court is the highest, law, court of the land. It is. And they made a ruling, and, on Tuesday, as you guys probably saw, DHS sent Texas a letter outlining the access Border Patrol needs in Shelby Park, for example, to do their jobs, and demanding Texas confirm this access will be honored. Border Patrol needs to have access in order to do their job. They just do.
But the thing is, they're not doing their job, is they? Because the National Guard, the Texas National Guard, put up a wire, and then the border guards, their name is Border Guards. The Border Guards cut up the wire that the Texas National Guard put up. So they're not really doing much border guarding. I mean, I'm sorry. I've stated this in the start of the video. I'm not somebody who goes actively around like, wow, dare they do this? How all these migrants and stuff like that. I'm not that kind of person, but 6 million people in 3 years, Texas, it's a lot. It's not something you that should be normal. But I think they need to have a serious talk with Mexico about it, first of all. And then, possibly have Border Control do their job, because their name is Border Guards, and they're not exactly doing their job.
And, what we're seeing from Governor Abbott, you've heard me say this over and over again, they're making it harder. He's making it harder for Border Patrol to do their jobs. They need.
But what job are they doing? My question is to you, what job are they doing? Because they're not border guarding. They cut the fence. They're not border guarding.
Access. They need access. And right now, they don't have that. And it's under the Constitution of the United States that federal law is the supreme law of the land. And
there you have it. That's what I said.
any conflicting state is preempted.
Yeah, but they're not really doing their job, is they? I mean, listen, I'm not gonna put it on the border guards as to be the ones who are not doing their job. They're doing what they're told. It's the government that are telling them to do what they are doing, but they can't do what they're told because somebody else is telling them not to. So, wow. Yeah. There you have it, guys. Don't be discouraged. Do your job. No, I'm not gonna. Moving into dangerous territory here, guys. Moving into dangerous territory. All right. Well, listen. Here we're gonna watch some flash news, and we'll be right back after 5 minutes, 17 seconds. It's good to catch you up on anything you missed. Good times.
Всім доброго дня, панове депутати. У мене таке маленьке скромне оголошення. Скажу, основна частина у нас була вже, у нас в РТЦК Червонорадському пройшла. Ми дуже вдячні, що підтримують нас. Ну, і є в нас 10 депутатів, кажу відкрито 10, які категорично не хочуть до нас прийти. Я дуже хочу вас запросити до нас прийти в ВЛК.
Доброго дня, шановні колеги, доброго дня, шановні українці. Розпочинаємо чергове засідання уряду України. Сьогодні ми ухвалюємо рішення про автоматичне продовження всіх виплат для внутрішньо переміщених осіб до 1 березня. З 1 березня запрацюють нові справедливі правила допомоги внутрішньо переміщеним особам. Виплати будуть продовжені ще на 6 місяців для ВПО з числа пенсіонерів. Виплати будуть продовжені для наших громадян, які мають інвалідність першої або другої групи, для дітей з інвалідністю, для дітей-сиріт та дітей, позбавлених батьківського піклування. Також продовжуємо виплати для працездатних громадян, які стали на облік в центрі зайнятості або працевлаштувались.
Ich würde dieses Bild gerade gerne so mit euch teilen, dass ihr alle diesen Blick habt. Das sieht fantastisch aus.
It's fantastic out. Yes, it is. It's just das bis fantastic. Das bis fantastic. Das bis fantastic. Das bin fantastic. Putin gives go-ahead to nuclear icebreaker. Apparently, Putin is going to a dinner party next week, and he's just given himself a go-ahead for a nuclear icebreaker. Can't wait to hear the joke. No, but you know, that was a great joke. Anyways, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday gave the green light for a nuclear-powered icebreaker as Moscow seeks to step up commercial trade across its Arctic North under Western sanctions for its Ukraine offensive. Russia is hoping to rely on northern sea routes, a shipping lane that traverse the Arctic oceans, to enable more trade with Asia by cutting distance and cost. The new icebreaker, dubbed the Leningrad, will take part in most important exploration and research programs in the Arctic, as well as facilitate trade, Putin said in a speech at a shipyard in St. Petersburg. Leningrad is the old name of the city, which is also Putin's hometown. Russia has pivoted much of its trade, particularly crude oil and gas sales, to Asia since it was hit with the sanctions for sending troops into Ukraine. This 170 meter ship being built by the state nuclear agency Rosatom is designed to carve through ice to allow shipping cargo to allow trailing cargo ships passengers through the frozen North Sea. Russia is also the only country in the world that builds and operates nuclear-powered icebreakers. Well, there you have it. That's something. Can't really stop that, no matter how many sanctions you give on them. Can you? Maybe. Could have. Incredible. They make their own nuclear fuel. They make their own nuclear power plants, and they make their own. They have a lot of iron. So, yeah, copper and all that stuff. They have reinforces from the south. Will it work? I don't know, but you know. Sorry, there you have it. Good one. Current air raid alert as of 3:40 a.m. The Air Force reported a threat of ballistic missile used for the areas under air alert. So these areas here could be a potential ballistic missile threat. Just reported here by Flash News. The person we just saw in the video before, that was actually Flash News. Another image from the claimed to be on fire at the MT Larden Enda in the Gulf of Aden after it was struck with a Houthi ship and ballistic missiles earlier tonight, the one we talked about earlier here. Oh, sorry about that. Take a look at that. That is certainly something. It's not that large, but oh, it looks like, yeah, look at that. You can see pretty much looks like they've tried to put out the fire. Looks like there's maybe foam on there. That might be the ocean, but it looks like some kind of foam on the side of a ship deck there. Look like the fire was actually been all the way up here, maybe. Looks like it struck this side here. You can definitely see some bending in the rail there. Probably struck around somewhere here, and it's been spreading. It looks like something kind of foamy over there. Some kind of attempt to put it out. They obviously have some sort of things to be able to put it out. But yeah, that's what's happening there. Yeah, and the USS Carney and French naval vessels are also rushing to the scene of the incident. Fair enough. The Pope defends blessing for same-sex people. Fair enough. Well, listen, I think a lot of people is against that idea of Christianity and the Catholic Church going up towards because a lot of people are deeply religious, and a lot of people being deeply religious do not believe in the ideas of same-sex marriage because it is not something believed in the church. Never has been. Now, but I think opposing it when a lot of countries allow it, it would be crueler when you have somebody who's very much believed in the religion, who's very much a believer in the religion, and then to say to them they can't continue the religion because they're in a same-sex marriage. I think if the Pope were to say, listen, we're going to allow it because we have people who are humans and they love who they love. It's not like he's out here saying he's going to be a cat, okay? You know, it's not like he's out here saying I now identify as a woman. It's like he's now saying, I think it's about time. And that's cool. Ukraine invites China leader Xi Jinping to participate in Global Peace Summit in Switzerland. China in Switzerland would be the first time. Good news from South Africa. A new survey from Human Science Research Council showed that the proportion of total poop in South Africa, which HIV has dropped to 12.7%. However, the country still has the world's largest HIV infection rate, which in some regions stands at 22%. Oh my god. What the fuck? Madagascar apparently has very low HIV. Funny thing about Madagascar is that, well, it's not funny. It's really unfunny, actually. 70% of the Madagascan population lives on less than $1 a day. Which is insane here. I mean, and you can see definitely next to South Africa, areas where these people may have wandered to. The problems for these areas definitely is the lack of proper conditions to be able to take care of such disease, and many people might die or simply having long-lasting effects. Can't tell you. I like how he cut out Morocco, because apparently they don't claim that area because that's not exactly blah blah blah, right? But yeah, Egypt very low. Don't know that country. I think it's called Tanzania. No, I know what it's called because there was a very famous battle in World War II, and it was in that area, and it's called Tanzania. It's called something. Can't remember right now, but I can't. That's Liberia. That's Nigeria, right? Is that Nigeria? That's Niger. These countries. I can't name any African countries, I'm proud of myself on being able to name these fucking countries. You never know. I know that's Somalia. We all know what Somalia is. South Africa, of course. And then my knowledge pretty much stops. I know Angola is around here somewhere. I think it's that country. No. I think it's that country there. No. Wait, is it that country? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Yeah. I should brush up on my knowledge about these places. I should. Giant waves flooded a U.S. military base on Marshall Island. Oh my god.
Keep the door closed. Keep the door closed. Whoa!
Oh my god. What the fuck? Take a look at it. Why wouldn't they fucking let them in? What the fuck are they doing? Why would they let them out there? This guy's just saying keep the doors closed, leaving these people out there. What the fuck? Why wouldn't they let them in? I get it's a military installation, but if you're in the if you're your responsibility of a military personnel is to be able to take care of the public. Now what you're doing here is just letting people stay outside, even though in stores is much safer. What would have happened if that wave hit, but those people didn't hit the door at the same time? There's a possibility that they would have stayed inside. Now I'm not aware of the conditions. I'm not aware of the conditions of that lady or those people outside.
Where's Viv?
As we go to see.
Alright, you good?
There she is. She's still standing. She's probably alright.
Oh.
Why wouldn't you let them inside?
My god. Jake, are you okay?
Why, what the fuck are you doing? Keep the door, what are you talking about? Keeping the door closed. What are you talking about? Well, why the fuck are you still there, man? Get the fuck out. Do something. You're standing still. Oh my god, this video frustrates me. I mean, they gotta wait for the water, but if the water keeps... Oh my god, this is happening right now, actually. What was this from? The water just cut out. That's blackout right there. That's 17 hours ago. God damn. Oh, it's air rates going off here. No, that's all clear air rates going off now. We have all clear air rates going off in in Ukraine. There you have it. Oh my god. Like, what the fuck? U.S. ship intercepts missile incoming from Yemen. Oh, you guys really showed those Houthis who's the boss, didn't you? They stopped. In Moscow, patients doctor conversations are now being recorded to identify homosexuals and those seeking abortion. The audio recording system in the Capitol polyclinics serves the authorities' agenda of monitoring attitudes towards sensitive topic rather than enhancing medical service for citizens. Oh my god. Can't believe it. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. This is beautiful. Tournament armor of Polish Prince Mikolaj Ratash Silva made around 1555 56 or 55 yeah 1555. What the fuck? Can't even say that. Is that true?
Paint her.
Judge threatens Trump's lawyer, Alina Habab. If you violate my instructions again, Ms. Habab, there may be consequences. The messenger. Whoa. Consequences? What sort of consequences? Scorches. Certainly is. There's been a lot of trial going on against the Israeli. There's currently a Danish trial going against the Israeli government, and the Israeli government is actually suing not suing, but in a trial against their own government. So it's really going great for Israel right now. They're winning the war because they're keeping the war separate from this legal stuff, but they assume the government's in the government by themselves, and then vice versa. You know? Have it as you may. The Telegram boss quits as U.S. lawmakers probe UAE-backed takeover. What the fuck? Telegraph boss quits as UK lawmakers probe UAE-backed takeover. You telling me there's a bunch of Arabians that are going to control the Telegraph, or what are you saying? Why? What? Why? Why? We're talking about... What the fuck? Yeah. There you have it. Russian troll farms right now. Civil war. Biden betrayed Texas. It will never happen under Trump. Biden did this. Vote Trump. Border first. That's all the Russians right there saying that. That's true. I like how they're sitting at their control panels for something and there's just snow around it. You know, if you ask an AI to imagine what Russia is like, it's a bunch of furry hats, you know, military uniforms, and snow. That's what it is. Damn. Let's wait. Yeah.
Pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs.
McDonald? Benching it. Oh my god, no. Oh no. Giving up in Ukraine to cover a British magazine this week. The magazine accuses U.S. Congress of artificial delaying aid for Kyiv. Oh my god. That's a British cover right there. That's like the British magazine. Put Putin's face like that. Well, who's that? Will Johnson and House Republican. Oh, that's Will Johnson. Block desperately need aid for Ukraine. The GOP's inedible nominee. A cancer surge among the young. Cancer surge. Oh, a cancer surge among the young. Well, that's not good. You put that up there. You didn't put it. Okay. No, I get the fact that that's pressing news, but like cancer surges among the young, and you think, oh my god, let's put that next to this one. I feel that it deserves sort of a statement of its own. I don't know. Just kind of, I don't know. Look at that as well, right? So, the Patriot Voice calling for civil war. Mark Anaskas rushed. The Patriot Voice, the governor of Oklahoma, said Oklahoma will stand with Texas. The rebellion has begun. Who will be next? Yeah. And that's one thing I'm talking about here. We have governors in the United States saying we stand with another state in a rebellion against the federal state. Have you heard that sentence before? No, because none of you were alive when that sentence was last stated. Because the last time that was stated was around 1860 or something like that. Yeah, it is rolling eyes. That's what it is, which it's definitely me rolling some eyes. Because it's ridiculous, but it's going there. This is not going to be good for the so-called aid for Ukraine, since there's going to be a lot of talk about this now. Yes. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. You know, you guys know it. I know it. You guys talk about it. It's about 25 states. It's about 25 states have put out saying they're kind of with Texas on this. Not just kind of, actually with Texas on this. What's this? What's that? It's a globe master. These things are going over Texas right now. There are some things flying over Texas right now. There's a Super King. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you have it, guys. Can you tell me where everything is happening right now? Can you tell me where all the action is going on right now? This is the Texan 2. This is the Texan. I think these are literal Texans. Texan planes. Holy shit, look at that, guys. There are thousands of them right now. There are a lot of planes just took off from this is within the Texan deep heartland here. Just next to the border of... Yeah, this is Texas, right? Still? Is it? It's just in Texas. Yeah, this is still Texas. Flying along the border here now. Heading over here towards... What's that? That's a state that hasn't signed on it. Albuquerque. Or New Mexico, sorry. It's flying over New Mexico right now. And that's a Black Hawk. No, it's not. But it's... Look at how they're circling. Look at that. They're circling the border right now. Look at that. That one's about to enter Mexican airspace. That one just entered the Mexican airspace. Is that true? No, that one just entered Mexican airspace. Yeah, it did. Are they allowed to do that? They certainly seem to have. What's this one? That's also Super King. We got Mexico flying Super Kings up now. That's surveillance planes. We got a Texan plane flying in Texas. This one's just flying. The funny thing is, this one's just flying in, just to the border. This one's, you know. Oh, now it's turning around. You might just realize what it did. Oh, shit. Hey, man, you're heading. God damn it, man, you're heading over to goddamn Texas. You're in Mexico. God damn it, we don't want to be here. Fly back. We'll play both sides as usual. Yeah, I mean, Kansas is kind of like, I have no idea what Kansas usually does, but if you say they're gonna play both sides, I believe it. I don't know. Look at that one plane just went like, oh shit, boy, you just went, you just circled into Mexico. God damn, look at that. God damn it, boy. You just circled into Mexico. You shouldn't do that. They were straight in over. There's more coming. Look at that. There's like a cotillion of them right now. Look at that. There's so many taking off right now. What is going on? Take a look. Take a look. I'm not even kidding right now. T6 Texan 2. These are Texan. They're flying from Texas. There's millions of them right now taking off. Are they planning on surveilling the whole goddamn border? Another one here. From another state who is Phoenix on this list? Was Phoenix on that list? Phoenix was not on that list. Oh, not Phoenix, sorry. What's the name? Arizona. Sorry, Arizona is not on the list. It surprises me. You know what surprises me? That Arizona is not on the list of people who came out support. Not because you know what you know what they're like in Arizona. I'm not gonna sit here and point it out for you, but if you've ever talked to some Arizonans, you know they're very much Republican. Ish. Kind of, they are. Texas defies Joe Biden. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he prepared for a conflict with the federal authorities. Oh my God. Yeah, there you have it, guys. Clash report here. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he's prepared for a conflict with federal authorities over border standoff, adding that 10 other states have sent National Guard troops to Texas border. This comes amid ongoing tensions between Governor Greg Abbott and the Biden administration over the border with Mexico. This is a country having border issues inside its own borders, having literal standoff. There's a standoff between the federal authorities and the borders control of Texas. Pretty much, Texas have just declared themselves as having a border of their own. They already have an existing border. They just don't have an existing border for the federal authorities. But they have now, they've declared that they have a standoff. That means that they've declared that their border is outside of federal jurisdiction, which makes them a different country. I'm not joking. That's literally the definition of what that is. Gabe. Oh, Gabbett. Is that what his name is? Is his name Gabbett? Or Gabbett? So it's Greg Abbott. Or Greg Gabbett. Is that what his name is? Greg Gabbett? That's how you say it? Greg Gabbett? Is that true? Or is that are you talking about something else? You might talk about, I don't know. But yeah. And take a look at this, for example, as well, guys. We got millions of Blackhawks in the air right now in Florida. This could just be an exercise. What you want to look at is definitely over here. This one took off from Oklahoma. Oklahoma is part of this coalition right now. Oklahoma is part of the Texan coalition right now, standing behind Texas. There are about 3 planes right now waiting to taxi, what appears to be waiting to take off. What is a Texan 2? The Texan 2 is, so it's a propeller plane. It's a propeller plane. That's how they look like. U.S. Air Force. They are surveillance planes, as far as I understand. They're not attack planes. They are surveillance planes. And training. I can search the definition of what they're used for. The Texan 6A Texans 2, T6A Texan 2 is a single-engine 2C primary trainer designed to train joint primary pilot training on GPPT students in basic flying skills common to U.S. Air Force and Navy pilots. Produced by Raytheon Aircraft, the T6A Texan 2 is a military trainer version of Raytheon Beach Pilatus PC-9MK2. There's a training plane, as I stated that before there. But right now, it appears to be used in different manners than training. I don't know. It doesn't appear like they're using it as training, does it? Well, they might be conducting some kind of training. They're heading over right now. They're heading towards Arizona, and it appears they could be using it in some kind of training. That could be true. I mean, that's not, I mean, there's some of them who took off from. Right now, there's some of them who took off from Arizona. So It's just strange that there are so many of them taking off now. You know, it's a very tense moment right now. So, you know, but yeah, they are training planes. They could also possibly be used as surveillance. Well, that one's a surveillance plane, the Beechcraft Super King 200 or Super King Air 350. That's a surveillance plane, and where's that? That took off from Oklahoma as well. That's heading down towards the border. That, you know, that's certainly a sign of surveillance. There you have it. You know, but yeah, this situation is definitely
Republican governors out
heading on here. A lot of National Guards have been sent to Texas in a possible, defense? Ukraine start building 4 nuclear reactors in 2024. Good for them. Ukraine will build new factories, if Russia will allow them. That's one thing. Coca-Cola is partnering with humanitarian organizations such as Ukraine Red Cross and Caritas Ukraine to give 1 million bottles with a special label to those Ukrainians most in need of something bright. Coca-Cola strikes again. Coca-Cola strikes again. Well done, Coca-Cola. There you have it. Oh, here we have it, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't think anybody expected this. The statement of President of the bipartisan, for everyone who's demanding a tougher border control, there's a way to do it. Here's my full statement of border security negotiations. Statement of the President on the partisan state border security negotiation, January 26, 2024. For too long, we all know the border's been broken. It's long past time to fix it. That's why, 2 months ago, I instructed my team to begin negotiation with partisans group of senators to seriously and finally address the border crisis. For 2 weeks now, that's what they've done, working around the clock through the holidays and weekends. Yet they've still been cutting wires, but we don't talk about that. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. What's been negotiated would, if passed into law, be the toughest and fairest set of reforms to secure the border we have had in our country. It would give me, as president, a new emergency authority to shut down the border when it becomes overwhelmed, which you should have done some time ago, shouldn't you? And if you're given the authority, it will use it the day I signed the bill into law. Further, Congress needs to finally provide the funding I requested in October to secure the border. This includes an additional 1,300 Border Patrol agents, 375 immigration judges, 1,600 asylum officers, and over 1,000 cutting-edge inspection machines to help detect and stop fentanyl at our fentanyl at our southwest border. Securing the border through these negotiations is a win for America. For everyone who is demanding further border control, this is the way to do it. If you're serious about the border crisis, pass a partisan bill, and I will sign it. So Joe Biden has come out with a statement just now here, stating, for too long we've known the border is broken. You've been POTUS for 3 years. You've known it broken long and haven't fixed it. By the way, before that, he was vice president for 8 years. So you know it's been broken for a long time. But you've been vice president for 8 years and president for 3 years, almost 4 years now. So, yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Here you have it. This is the cutting edge plan that Joe Biden has put out for a diplomatic reasons to put an end to this madness. But will they take it? Will they take it? Is my oh, he deleted it. Why did he do that? Well, Joe Biden didn't. Joe Biden's true. This one's from the president. It is. There you have it, guys. All right. That is the response from the president of the United States of America. Or some of them. That's a response from the United States president, or most of the United States. China top diplomat to discuss Taiwan with U.S. security advisor. to discuss Taiwan. What does that mean? To just discuss who should own it. UE law prompts Apple to make major changes to App Store in Europe. Yeah. Don't know why, but whatever. Well, I don't have much more for you. Do we have anything else you guys want to watch or anything like that? Let's see if we have something on YouTube to see if there's any updates on the... It appears that the United States weather has also calmed down a bit. However, a new threat has hit the United States coast. But, okay. Now, I just want to point that out. If you heard it, Doc. Okay. What it was, it's this fucking ad. It's this ridiculous ad that shows two birds pulling on a dog. And the dog's squealing, and then this guy comes and saves it. Like... It's a terrible noise to put into anybody's head, but here you have it, guys.
Tonight, capping off a brutal week of punishing winter weather, warm rain, now fueling a slow-moving disaster in the Midwest.
It's kind of like a sci-fi movie, a disaster movie. You can see the ice levels begin to rise.
Along suburban Chicago.
This is not going to do wonders for the overall canals in the oceans. All this going out into the sea. It's going to be a bad time.
Chicago's Kankakee River, a flash flood emergency after officials say...
By the way, that right there is dangerous, right? That right there, because the current's that strong, you were to go out in that, you wouldn't make it out.
Officials say a 12-mile ice jam, among the largest ever recorded on that river, began melting and breaking apart this week. The nature-made dam of densely packed ice now giving way to rapidly rising water levels, up more than 3.5 feet since Wednesday. Tonight, just shy of the river's record height of 13.9 feet. In the small town of Wilmington, businesses underwater. Rescue crews overnight saving more than a dozen people from flooded homes.
You bought it almost 20 years ago. This is the worst you've seen?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Downstream, where more ice has yet to break apart, Eric Fosna worries his home will be next.
When the ice...
I mean, Jesus Christ, right? I mean, that's just insane.
Breaks apart, you can hear it?
Yeah, they say it sounds like thunder. It's very intimidating to see it like this. It's so high up.
Meanwhile,
look at a current as well.
While millions down south,
these currents right here, they're big enough to move cars.
Cleanup mode after relentless rain yesterday brought staggering floods across parts of Texas and the Mississippi Delta.
I just want to warn Europe towards Europe and everybody else if you're in Europe. This is heading towards Europe, okay? There's big flash floods and a lot of heavy rain heading towards Europe as we're talking here. Heavy winds, things that came from the United States, sort of an aftershock of the United States heading towards Europe. Across the nations, across the worlds, this is the weather phenomenon is going off. There's a worldwide volcano alert. Iceland has had volcanoes come up from the fucking ground with fucking earthquakes. The United States is under severe weather, and most of Europe has experienced weather unlike anything before. The world is changing in front of us.
Back here in Illinois, this river's rising alongside temperatures here climbing into the 40s. Out east today, temps were as much as 20 degrees above average, and Washington, D.C. hit 80. Lester?
Thanks
80.
for watching. Stay out.
80, guys. 80. 80. All right, guys. I've got something for you here. Bill McGoolingin, national correspondent for Fox News, based in L.A., 4-time Emmy winner and 3-time Edward R. Murrow winner. Okay, that's enough. Breaking Senator board deal details per source familiar I just had a call with. Mandatory detention of all single adults. Okay. Mandatory shutdown of border once average daily migrant encounters hits 5,000. Importantly, this 5,000 number includes 1,400 CBP BP, there you go. 1 app entries at ports of entry per day, and roughly 3,600 illegal crossings per day. How's that enforced? Once the 5,000 threshold is hit, a new authority is codified into law that requires borders to immediately remove illegal migrants that catch without processing. They would not get requested asylums. They would be immediately removed. This includes removals back to Mexico and deportation to home countries. This would be a massive change for current policy, which is that once an illegal migrant reaches U.S. soil, they must be processed via Title 8 and allowed to claim asylum under this new authority. They are now processed and they are mandatorily immediately removed once the shutdown threshold is reached. This shutdown also takes effect if there are 8,500 migrants encounters in a single day. The shutdown would not lift the next day. It wouldn't lift until daily encounters are reduced under 75% of 5,000 threshold for at least 2 weeks. This means the shutdown authorities would not lift until 2 weeks of an average or less than 3,750 migrants encounters per day. Some family units will be released with ATD, alternative to detention, ankle monitors, etc. And new removals authorities to immediately remove all migrants who do not have valid asylum claims, which will be determined within 6 months rather than the years-long process we have right now. Any migrant caught trying to cross twice during the shutdown phase will be banned from entering the U.S. for 1 year. Okay, U.S. will need agreement with Mexico for MX to take back non-Mexican illegal migrants. This hasn't been ironed out yet. President Biden approves of the deal and is ready to sign it as is right now and implement the new authorities it would give him. So what I'm hearing here is he saying that President Biden approves of the deal and is ready to sign it as right now, then implement the new authorities it would give him? So, are they fixing it? Diplomatically fixing it, which is what I hoped. Because I don't want to see America heading into a civil war. In December of 2023, U.S. Customs and Border Patrols have had over 300,000 encounters with illegal migrants along the border between the United States and Mexico, and the largest numbers in American history. God damn. That is American history. That when you get in serious, that's when you start hitting those American history numbers. You know? Still not nothing? No, nothing new here. Fair enough. Constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis. WHO rejects Israel claim to coalition with Hamas. Okay. Russia Taupei's oil refinery halted after fire source. Oh yeah. That's one thing I heard, but I think that's some time ago actually. But it halted for now. Great time. Biden halts new LNG exports. The fuel seems vital lifeline for Europe, which has caught itself off from cheaper Russian gas imports. Yeah, of course they do that because Europe likes to do stuff. Wow. That's the Swedish king right there. That's the Swedish king. If we ever get to capture Putin, I'd like to take a picture like this. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh my god, love to see that. King of Sweden. He's a king. Yeah, he's a king. He's a king. He's a king. He's a king. Oh yeah. He's a king. Yeah. So am I understanding right that we are now heading into a understandable time? Idaho Governor Brad Little is deploying 2 teams of state troopers to help Greg Gabbett, or whatever they call it, and the state of Texas at the southern border. Huh.
From the cannon.
The Patriot convoy rolling into Texas. All right. Well, a lot of Americans are coming out supporting this. Not surprising. Not surprising. No. Well, guys. Well. Right? Well. Trump's first reaction to absolutely ridiculous, right? That's one thing I read in the start there. Sorry, I don't have much for you. I'm just waiting to see if anybody's actually putting anything out. I mean, if there's anything going on there. Yeah. All right, guys. Don't think there's going to be anything else from now on. If anything comes out, if anything happens, I'll sure to come back live, because of course something could happen. But until then, we're gonna see you guys another time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for being here to stream today. It was a fine stream. We got to go through some of the things we at least wanted to go through, some of the top headlines here. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for listening in. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whatever.